Well, hello, this is Professor Foto, and yes, indeed, we're going to be having a video tonight that's all about the exciting event that happened in New York City this week for Fuji Film and the premiere of several products, but the most important of which was the GFX medium format camera. Now, this is one of those kind of events where it marks a point in history where all of a sudden there's a product that appears that may be able to actually change the marketplace and change it in a very positive and progressive direction. So we flew to New York. Didn't start until after about sundown. So here we had this wonderful view out of our hotel window. Only had to walk about maybe half miles to reach the Fuji project introduction party. And it was a really nice affair, by the way. So let's get started. Okay, well, you step out of your hotel and take a nice easy walk across town to the Chelsea district in Manhattan. There's a very wonderful swanky hotel there, and that's where Fuji decided to hold this. So it was a much enjoyed process and a lot of fun just to get there. You come up a long set of stairs and you walk in, and there's this huge cathedral. It almost looks like it used to be a church, and they've got it completely set up and decked out to the nines, let's say. They have beautiful open bar, by the way. And step in the door, and here's this gentleman with his video equipment, and he's sitting here getting his close-up stock shots, and the whole room is completely laid out, and you know that you're there for some very serious fun. And you got your hands on, almost immediately you can get your hands on the GFX. But the thing that's really interesting about this deal with the GFX and the fact that Fuji's decided to go into the medium format is the fact that they've done it in a way that's not just incrementally better. It's not 5 or 6% better, a tiny bit better than the other medium format products out there. What they've done is they made a generational leap forward in terms of what they're doing here. And they've kind of like reinvented the wheel, which I find rather amazing. When you take a look at the GFX S50, you know, it's got this massive imaging engine, and you're looking at a 43 by 32 CMOS sensor, 51 million megapixels. And it has the ability to gather light and process things from these photodiodes, and it optimizes every little thing, and it gives you a 14 stop range. Now, if you are an old school photographer, zone system was 10 stops. This is 14 stops. I mean, this is a massive range. So it really does some incredible processing of data. The native ISO on this is 100. It goes to 12,800 ISO. You can even expand it down to 50, and if you want to, you can expand it up to 102,400. So there's a lot that you can do here. The other thing is the fact that, like, under normal standard medium format world, you were locked into a 6x6 or your 6x9 or 6x7. So you had an aspect ratio that you were stuck with. This will work in 4:3, 3:2, 1:1, 4:5, 6:7, and 6x17. So it offers you lots of choices. When you see this product, put your hands on it and start to work with it. You realize that this really is Fuji's grand slam. It is a grand slam to the medium format or the photography industry. They have basically kicked over the table. They're redefining how and what you can expect out of product and what you can expect the price range of the product to be. The pricing on this product is so value added compared to Hasselblad. It is almost laughable. And I hate to say that because I used to have a 500 CM and I love Hasselblad. It's a good product, but the problem is it's lost its ability to define the market. It's kind of following around in the digital market, the way Leica's trying to follow around in the digital market. So when you look at this, you get a real strong feel for how this is done. You walk into this quote unquote, this party, so to speak, and it is a very large room. And within a few moments, I mean, this room is packed. There are people from the advertising industry, the fashion industry, the publishing industry. I mean, it's just everywhere. People from every end of the industry, the top end of the industry, are here, and they're all here for one reason, because they're looking for a product that's going to help them perform better. At the far end of the hall, they have like a shooting gallery that's set up in kind of a Renaissance area. If you want, you could have gotten your picture taken with everybody there, but more than anything, the thing is the fact that they've got tons and tons of experts. They also have the XT20 there. They have the X100F there. They have the 50mm F2 there. So this is one of these things where they really pulled out the stops. And as you get close to the GFX and you start to look at it and you start to work with it and you start to, I don't want to say play with it, but it is almost like playing with something that's 20 years ahead of its time. And that's the one of the things that's so important that I see here, which is the fact that they are giving you a camera that will have a lifespan that could be 50 years or 60 years, because what you're going to be looking at are software upgrades and maybe some sensor upgrades over time that can be switched out. But this is an open platform concept, and it means that they're also looking for ways to try and make other lenses adaptable with, or have adapters made to make other lenses usable on the GFX. And I hope that they use the Hasselblad F-series lenses. I'm hoping that they use the Pentax 6-7 lenses. There's a raft of lenses out here that would work really well on this camera, and what that open platform does is it brings people in to use this camera, because most of the money that any medium photographer has spent over the years hasn't been on the body, it's been spent on the lenses. It's the glass. So you're getting to bring in the highest quality glass and put it in front of what is now the state-of-the-art sensor for the medium format industry. So that makes it pretty interesting. The other thing is the fact that it's like, whether you're using autofocus or manual focus, the camera's going to let you know what you're doing. And on a camera that has 425 autofocus points, this camera focuses so fast it is almost painful. It has a set of 425 focus points that are locked into a 17 by 25 grid. The camera itself is a tank. I believe, if I remember correctly, the body is actually magnesium. And the thing is this camera will work in temperatures down to -10 centigrade. So it's basically kind of weather sealed. It's very, very durable. It's got touchscreen, it's got tilt screen, and you're talking about working with an EVF that is the be-all to end-all. Anybody who was in medium format for years knew that you always had to buy a different viewfinder for everything that you wanted to do. You know, you need to buy this kind of prism, a 90-degree prism, 45-degree prism, blah, blah, blah. On this camera, the viewfinder will do anything you want in any direction you want, at any angle you want. And it has an awesome diopter. So here's a camera that can do everything that every medium format camera has ever done, and then do it better, which is, I find, amazing. And of course, the Fuji guys have a real flair for this. I mean, they're really willing to put in the time and the due diligence to really develop something that really is a superior product. When you walk around the room and start to take a look at things, you see things like the little X100F, which now has a 24 megapixel sensor. That now gives it the same image processing power as the X Pro 2 or the XT2, which makes it amazing. You look at the XT20. Here's another product that now is an entry-level product, but it has the power to perform like it's a top-end tour de force digital camera. It just doesn't have all the bells and whistles on it. Fuji set up the room so that they had a very nice kind of red carpet for all of the major products sitting right out in the middle of the room. They had a wonderful open bar, by the way, and the atmosphere was just really, really lots of fun, but yet they had tons of experts all over the place. And I think the more that you look at this, the more I felt it and got to play with it. And I picked it up using the 120 macro, using the zoom lens, using the normal lens. The macro is actually an extremely heavy lens, but you're only going to use that on a tripod, and you're only going to use it for macro work. You're not going to be toting it around, so to speak. The new 110 millimeter lens that's coming for this camera, I think is going to be another major success, because of the fact that that 110 focal length, if anybody remembers, was one of the best focal lengths that was made for Hasselblad in an F-series or FE series lens. So that's an awesome thing. So you're going to have the 63, which you have now, the 32 by 64, and the 120. Then you're going to have the 110, the 23 f4, and the 45 2.8. All the lenses they're making are basically very fast lenses, especially for the world of medium format. And f2 110, that's a really fast lens, and the quality on that is going to be something that's just going to be, I think, staggering. The other thing is the GFX is going to adapt to view camera bodies, which is going to open up a whole new world for interior architectural photographers, landscape photographers. This is going to make some very, very interesting things possible. As a guy who loves film, who still shoots a lot of film, in fact, as a guy who owns a Fuji 690, I love to shoot both their color and their black and white film. This camera is going to give me a lot of opportunities to do things that I can't do with a standard medium format film camera. And when you understand that and really respect what that means that your ability to function as a photographer is more successful, more profitable, and you'll be able to do it with less stress and less load. I was able to get a chance to to play with the GFX and took a tethered camera over to shoot the Renaissance models to get a feel for how that works. And I was amazed at how well balanced it is, how easy it is to work with, and how quickly it does things. It just does things so fast. It's just amazing. So I was extremely impressed. So this really is Fuji's grand slam in photography. This is going to be their legacy product, and it's going to allow them to develop a lineage and a legacy that may very easily eclipse Hasselblad. We also have to remember that Hasselblad just basically got purchased by a major Chinese group, which I find rather interesting. So hopefully they're going to give them money to do things. But the thing here is that Fuji's relied on creative engineering expertise and intelligence, and this camera so dwarfs anything that's out there in the medium format, even the brand new cameras that have come out from Hasselblad in the digital format area, that it just doesn't really have any competition. So this is Professor Foto saying this is probably the most important photo event I've been into in about 10 years. This is a camera that is very well worth its money. It's a value-added product. And when I get a chance, I'm going to try and test one, and hopefully I'm looking forward to working with this camera personally on a professional level. The X100F, wonderful camera. If you ever needed a reason to buy a small camera, the X100F has given you everything you need, because now it's got the processing power of the X-T2 and the X Pro 2. The X-T20 is also an awesome machine. The 50mm f2 lens, I'm looking forward to testing that lens, because I think that lens is going to surprise a lot of people. It's going to be a lot better than a lot of people expect. So this is Professor Foto saying, like us, share. You can come see us at Facebook. I've also started the Voigtlander Lens Club for people who shoot Voigtlander manual focus lenses. Any camera body is acceptable, whether it's film or digital. We look forward to seeing you, and as soon as we get a chance to test this in a serious level, we will. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.